odd because according to people, Notre Dame is overrated and they're not that good, but whatever. So Kurt Cignetti, Indiana pulls out. You actually have Steve Sarkisian, coach of Texas, talking about he doesn't know if it's worth the squeeze to play Notre Dame in their upcoming home-and-home series. Interesting. But anyway, the reason I bring this up, because if you look at, clearly Indiana has a very specific scheduling philosophy. And you being a Big Ten guy, Sneed, I'm sure you heard about this. Over the next 5 years, Indiana does not play a single Power 4 team in their non-conference schedule over the next 5 years. So clearly what they're doing is playing cupcakes on the outside and saving it for the Big Ten. Now, is the Big Ten the best conference in college football? Yes. But still, like, I don't know, like, how you get to talk like that and you're doing this on purpose. But they have a system. It worked for them, right? It got them a chip. So I guess this is what.
Yeah, but it doesn't guarantee it's going to work, Bruce.
Right.
It guarantees them to have a really solid record, to look good, you know, when it comes down to playoff placement and stuff like that. But I mean, the cream always rises to the top, Bruce. If you are playing a challenging, you know, if you are playing challenging opponents and you have a good record, you don't have to be undefeated, but have a good record. They keep broadening the field, Bruce. So having a loss is it's not the end of the death sentence. You know, 2 losses is no death sentence, especially if you're playing out of the Big Ten. I think a 3-loss Big Ten team makes it to the playoff.
Well, we saw a 3-loss SEC team get in last year, so it can happen.
Right. So I mean, I try to be objective in these things, and I think you should challenge yourself as a team. But I understand what they're doing. I don't think he's confident, Bruce, that he can go through the season unscathed unless he has that advantage.
Right.
You know, I don't think he has the personnel to really uplift as he did last year.
Yeah, we'll find out. They sent a fair amount of guys to the league for Indiana. So just to run that down, over the next 5 years, here are their non-conference opponents: Howard, Western Kentucky, Kennesaw State, Indiana State, UMass, Austin Peay, Eastern Michigan, Miami of Ohio, Ball State, Eastern Illinois, Western Kentucky, Indiana State, Delaware, and 1 opponent not yet listed. So it's like, come on. But then you got the nerve to be taking a shot at Notre Dame. Really? That's what we're doing?
Right.
But okay, let's
I feel like Notre Dame is catching a lot of strays, Bruce.
A lot of strays, bro. A lot of strays. Well, let's take it even further, right? Texas Tech is another one of the best teams in the country. They're a top 15 ranked preseason team. They went undefeated in the regular season last year and made it to the college football playoff. Shout out to them. They're out of the Big 12. So they're in a conference, right? They're in the Big 12. Listen to Texas Tech's 2026 schedule: Abilene Christian, Oregon State, Houston, Sam Houston State, Colorado, by Arizona State, Cincinnati, Arizona, West Virginia, Oklahoma State, Baylor. Not a ranked team on that schedule. But no one is saying anything about them. No one is complaining about their schedule.
I mean, on a scale of what, 1 to 10, that difficulty is a 2?
That's what it appears to be. So let me ask you, does being in a conference protect you if you have a weak schedule? Is it okay to have a weak schedule if you're in a conference?
This is one of those things, Bruce, where shit sounds good until actual context goes into it.
Correct. You know? See, that's why they got people like us, you see. But let's go just one more because I'm petty. You know that. Let's go to last year's national championship runner-up, University of Miami Hurricanes. So we know they're an outstanding team, right? Right? They're in a conference. Okay, cool. Let's check out their schedule, shall we? Stanford, Florida A&M, go Rattlers. My daughter's a Rattler alum. Wake Forest, Central Michigan, Clemson, by Florida State, Pitt, North Carolina, Notre Dame, and Duke. 1 ranked team on that schedule, and it's Notre Dame. So the point I'm trying to make here is you have teams that are in conferences that are ranked highly. No one is complaining about their trash schedule, but it's always Notre Dame. They can't keep Notre Dame's name out of their mouth. Strange, isn't it? Just something to think about.
It just keeps happening, and it's ironic because the Notre Dame didn't play in the playoff.
Right.
So everybody should be like, who cares? Out of mind. They're not involved. They're not engaged. But people love them. Love to hate them, absolutely. Whatever. It's all love.
Yeah. I just figured I would point that out. Like, it's crazy to me that people always have something to say about Notre Dame's schedule, but they don't have things to say about other people.
It's one of those schools, Bruce. There's just always a certain amount of venom that's going to be thrown their way. And I think it's the shiny helmet, it's the colors, it's the name, it's the panache, it's
the independence,
it's a package thing. Yeah, I mean, it all just, and man, maybe there's a little bit of jealousy. I don't know if I want to say envy, but a little jealousy that it's they travel really well.
They do.
They got a great fan base following, alum support.
Yeah,
they get high profile coaches. They got good players. Guys go to the league. They are doing a solid job staying relevant year in and year out. Yep. If you are waiting for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish to fall off, don't hold your breath.
Right.
They got talent.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so that was my quick hit. Ed Dog has a quick hit in the chat. I got what it is with him,
and I'll go after Eddie.
I bet. I don't know what it is with him in these start bench cuts, but fine. This is easy work. Start bench cut, MVP season, 88 MJ, 09 LeBron, 16 Steph Curry. This is easy work. 88 MJ. 88 MJ, that's clear. 16 Curry, 09 LeBron. Yeah, that's where I'm going with that.
I'll leave it the way that Eddie has it. That's my order.
Okay.
I'll go MJ 88, I'll go Bron 09, and I'll go Curry 16.
All right. Whoa. Okay, quick note. Adam Schefter just tweeted or X'd or whatever. Former Cowboys two-time Pro Bowl corner Trayvon Diggs is signing a one-year deal with the Seattle Seahawks. All right.
Show him proof for 1 year. He's not even old, Bruce.
Nope. So Ed Dog clearly has a problem, I'm sure, with my start bench cut, but that's to be expected.
What do you mean, Bruce? There's nothing wrong with your. I know why you would put Steph in front of Bron 09.
I mean, record setting.
I'm taking Bron 09 because of his defense. His defense was really good in 09.
Yeah.
And this is before Bron got heavy. Right? This is like Bron at like 230.
Yeah.
That Miami Bron was like 250. Right?
But that Miami Bron was
slower feet.
He was freaking jeez.
Right, but 09 Bron was like laterally very, very fast. His closing speed on defensive recovery was absurd. And his game was improving offensively, which is, I mean, it was good, but his offense got better in Miami. Much better in Miami.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. But no,
if I'm not mistaken, won what? 63 games that year.
What was 88 MJ? 88 MJ was MVP and defensive player.
88 MJ was just like an otherworldly player. It wasn't team accomplishments, right?
Right.
Or were they a second round out to the Pistons?
88, they were either conference semis or conference finals.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Conference semis, I think they got beat by the Pistons. Yeah. But yeah, 88 MJ was defensive player of the year and MVP. So like
insane.
Next level. Absolutely. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that was the year that Doug Collins had MJ play. I think he had MJ play point guard for like 30 games. And MJ
he was averaging like 10 assists a game.
Yeah, he was going insane. He was getting he had 10 out of 11 games in a row with triple doubles. It was wild what he was doing. Wow.
Yep.
Was that 89?
88 or 89, Bruce?
I think it was 88, Woodage. I think 89 was when Phil Jackson took over.
But there are some people who argue the quality of basketball that MJ was playing. Like if you just put statistics aside and just watch, they do say that 89 MJ was better. And I think it's the refinement of the player.
Could be.
Because he's not less athletic in 89. If anything, he was getting stronger each year. right? And he definitely was not less athletic.
Right.
We didn't see MJ lose athleticism until his retirement.
Yeah.
You know, and then when he came back, he was not really exactly the same player.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt.
Anyways, all right. I got my quick hit.
Yeah, go for it, man.
Dwayne Wade was discussing NBA defense today, the modern NBA defense.
Oh, really?
The nice thing, and this is really one of the few things that I can speak to positively about Dwayne Wade. I think he's been a detriment to the NBA, in my opinion. I think he's part of the reason why LeBron felt cool with just stacking up the deck, right? I think some of that onus goes on D Wade, but that's a discussion for another day. D Wade was talking about how in the beginning of his NBA career, there was real defense going on. He said you could not just carry him around the court, untouched, unscathed, getting screens and finding yourself free, right? And he says he remembers vividly being pushed on the edge of the perimeter, forced out of his position. Guys pushing his hip, guys pushing his arm out of the way, hand checking. He spoke to this. He said the game was more physical. He said the game was more demanding. He said the game, it was just played in a different way. And then he was honest again, speaking about how the NBA felt compelled to create freedom for the offensive player, allow them to move without obstruction more easily in order to drive up scoring and make scoring easier for players.
What?
Now, the irony of all this is they keep telling me that today's players are more skilled, but the game has been rigged and the rules have been changed to make things easier on that side of the ball. So if I'm an offensive player today and my defense sucks, I could still be viewed as a phenomenal, amazing all-NBA player because the emphasis is on offense.
James Harden, anybody?
But here's the thing, Bruce. D Wade was keeping it real and telling the truth because the NBA changed on him in his time.
Right.
Because he's drafted in 2003. So for the first handful of years of his career, he's living a different way of how he has to get buckets. There's resistance. There's physicality. There's challenges, right? And then in the second phase of his career, things got easier. And he found himself not really changing his game all that much. And wouldn't you know, all of a sudden, other players are considered to be better than Dwayne Wade. Were players all of a sudden better than Dwayne Wade? Let's be honest. Were they?
Not most of them, no.
They were allowed to score easier. So the perception was, oh man, this guy's better than Dwayne Wade. Let's tell the truth. If I take peak Dwayne Wade, who's better, him or Kevin Durant as an all-around player?
Ooh.
This is a real conversation to have.
That's a real conversation.
Freedom of movement. You're not allowed to touch a player on the perimeter. It's a foul. Kevin Durant's making 90% free throws if you foul him. You can't block the shot, so that means you can't be physical. Where's your edge?
Well, we saw what happened. I keep pointing to it. We saw what happens to KD when you get physical. We watched it.
KD has slowed down. He's a lesser player, and his averages are still 28 points a game. Dwayne Wade was telling the truth that the game is played differently, at least the regular season, for sure. And I'm glad he did that because nobody is going to call him a hater. You know why, Bruce?
I was just about to say he's an old head hater.
They won't call him a hater, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
He's LeBron's brother.
So he's still hating.
My brother.
No, he's still hating.
No.
Jordan is bad. He's still a hater.
Since the beginning of time, since LeBron first went to Miami, that's my brother. That's my brother, right? They've been saying this the whole time, so he can't be a hater. If he laid down on the coals for LeBron and helped him win, turned him into a winner, that's my brother. You can't call him a hater, but he's telling the truth. So all these discussions, Bruce, when we talk about great players, we really got to put in the guardrails for eras.
So wait, real quick before we move on. Ed Dog is in the chat. He's commenting. So I need to make sure that we got this right. Should we listen to Dwayne Wade? Because Ed Dog keeps moving the goalposts on what players we should listen to. Okay. First it was if they're not an all-star, then if they're not a top 75, then if they're not Hall of Famer.
Well, let's just put that on the side for now. Let's take his Kevin Durant comment. He said Kevin Durant came into the league when Wade was playing. When did Kevin Durant win?
When he got with Golden State.
What was the league like?
When did he go in the league? 2017? It took him like 10 years. Yeah, about 10 years. The league was very, very different. He
peak power under the easier rules.
Yeah.
Before that, he was a fantastic player. But he was getting iced out of the finals. I saw him choke away the finals. Mind you, in 2012, the OKC Thunder won game 1 against the Miami Heat and were up by 20 at halftime in game 2. We don't want to do this, Eddie. We don't want to do this. It's a whole lot of losing on the KD side until the rules changed. We really don't want to do this.
So Ed Dog, yes or no, should we listen to D Wade? That's all I want to know from you. Should we listen to him? That's what I want to know. Come on, Ed Dog. Should we listen to D Wade? Oh, wow. Look, did you see the response? No, because Ed Dog told me first we shouldn't listen to Byron Scott and Olden Polynice, right? Because they're not all-stars. Good night, son. They're not all-stars. They're not Hall of Famers. They're not top 75 guys. Cool. Okay. What I have tried to do consistently with Ed Dog is narrow down who we should listen to. Now we have a top 75 guy, multiple-time champion, Hall of Famer, Dream Teamer, right? Not Dream Teamer, Redeem Teamer. And he's a guy from this era, not from the Wax Museum. So I'm trying to figure out, should we listen to what D Wade said, Ed Dog? That's yes or no. Please let me know. I would like to know. Oh, by the way, for everybody watching, because you can't see the chat, let me put up here. This is what Ed Dog said when I asked him that question. Because I'm trying to clarify his stance. He hates me. Isn't that interesting? Oh, he can't answer a simple yes or no question. All right. We'll leave it there. We know the answer.
Dwayne Wade has all the credibility in the world because he played in the span where the rules changed.
Yeah.
He was a champion in the harder era and a champion as it was transitioning.
Correct.
Right? And he was a two-way player.
So
he played the defense. Right?
Yeah.
Really, Bruce?
I couldn't help it.
You're the worst, bro.
Yeah, I know. No, you said it.
Hey, it was good, bro. You got it, bro. You got it.
All right. Let's go.
Are we doing phone calls on these?
You know what? Yeah, let's we're making good time. Let's take 2 phone calls. 904-219-8264. 904-219-8264. Ed Dog, we'd love to hear from you because I really need to make sure that I can understand where you're coming from on this. Here we go. Evening, Ed Dog. How are you, sir?
Yeah. Whatever.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you what. I answered the question. I said, yeah, whatever.
Well, no. I need to know yes or no. Should we listen to D Wade?
I said, yeah, whatever, sir.
That's not an answer. Yes or no. Yeah, does he fit the criteria for a player we should listen to?
God dang it, Bruce. Yeah, all right.
Good. Thank you. Okay, good. So we should listen to him so he knows what he's talking about. Funny though.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you've heard someone say that before, but go on.
Was there a top 75 player?
Nah, there was a top 75 podcaster though.
What? There was a corner boy?
You call it what you want to, but go ahead.
I mean, was they
calling D Wade a corner boy?
Was they part of the Boston Tea Party? Wink, wink.
No. Go on.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so I mean, look, man, I'll just I agree, but now you said there was the KD part and all that, but you left that part out about the way he won his chip with Golden State. Get it? Cool, fine. But he did what? KD got drafted what? 05 or 06?
I thought he got drafted 07.
I think 07. Okay, was this physical defense around that time?
Nah, that was fading out at that time. I think 04 is when they really start changing all the rules because let's see, 03, 04, the Pistons beat the Lakers.
The Lakers.
And then the 04 Pistons ended up, let's see, 2 years later, they ended up losing to the Spurs in 7. And that was a really low scoring super defense series. And the league was like, nah, can't have that. We gotta fix it.
Okay.
Yeah. And then 06 was the 7 seconds or less Phoenix Suns, which really like made the offensive explosion take off.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, that's okay. I just wanted to call in because I ain't ducking no smoke. I answered the question. So got that out the way. Now, I also had this should have been I'm probably say this quick hit for next time for the show. My next one because I asked in the chat, but
I must have missed it.
This. No, it's all good. But let me ask you this right quick. You can only pick one.
Okay.
What would you rather do? If this was like, I don't know if y'all get Ben, would y'all rather go to Canton, Ohio to watch the Hall of Fame game, your favorite team play against her opponent, or would you rather go to Kansas City, Kansas to the MLB, the Negro League Museum?
Hall of Fame game.
What about you, Sneed?
I'd rather watch football than baseball.
Yeah, I'm not a baseball guy, so
I'd rather play baseball than watch baseball.
Yeah, I'd rather go.
But I'd rather play or watch football than play or watch baseball.
Yeah, I'd rather go to the Negro.
You're a big baseball fan, huh, Eddie?
Yeah, I'm a Braves fan. I'm a Braves fan. Yeah, absolutely. So I want to see, because that's what I would pick. But anyway, yeah, that's all I got right now. I'm waiting on this next topic. I will be cool, collective.
You better be, because it's about to get bad for you. Understand that?
Okay, hold on. You know what? Nope, I'm just gonna save it.
Very good.
Okay, let's get the show. Let's get the like and subscribe up.
All right, Eddie. Good
call. All
right, yeah.
Appreciate the call.
All right. Yep.
All right. Good call from that dog. All right, you ready to rock and roll? Get to this first topic, Sneed?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. All right. Sam Darnold, a guy that our favorite caller, Ed Dog, calls Playoff Sammy. A guy that I prefer to call Ronald McDarnold. A guy that some people in the media love, Colin Cowherd among them. A guy that many people in NFL front offices and NFL media still aren't believers of, despite the fact that he has done something Dan Marino never did, despite the fact he's done something Jim Kelly never did, Fran Tarkenton never did, all 3 Hall of Famers. Despite the fact that Joe Burrow has not done, Lamar Jackson is not done, Baker Mayfield is not done, Justin Herbert is not done. All players widely regarded for the most part, except Baker. Baker is kind of right there with him, but all those other guys are guys regarded to be better than Sam Darnold. But Sam Darnold is now a Super Bowl champion. And so I really said, okay, I've been hearing this Sam Darnold stuff over and over, but I want to really dig into the Sam Darnold piece and find out what's what, because people, I think, I should say, in my estimation, are believing things about him that they shouldn't believe. I personally think some people have him very overrated. Now, the funny thing is, Colin Cowherd has made it clear that he's a USC guy. He's made it clear that he's been a Sam Darnold guy from day one. So it's very hard to take him seriously when he gives his takes on Sam Darnold. Would you agree with that, Sneed?
I mean, he's spoken very favorably of him for a while.
Yes.
And then as he started playing better, it got even louder.
Yes, right? Absolutely. But you know what, though? I mean, listen, I'm a guy, as you know, who can be petty, who is petty. So when you feel like you've been redeemed in your take, you're going to shout it from the rooftops. So I get that. But I said it's time for us to give a deeper examination into this Sam Darnold thing, because I personally don't believe that he is what some people think he is. And so
you're saying he's overrated by some folks?
I do. Right. I think he's overrated, yes. And there's reasons for that. And like I said, I did some digging into it. So here's the thing. Actually, we'll get into that when we hear the Cowherd soundbite. But what I want to touch on, obviously, he had a great stretch over the past 2 years. His final year with the Vikings, and then his first year with the Seahawks, which again resulted in him winning the Super Bowl, which many quarterbacks have not done. So props to him for winning a Super Bowl. And although I already gave it on the show, I'm going to reiterate, props to him for playing an absolutely incredible NFC Championship game last year. He did that. And also props to him for not having a single turnover all the way through his playoff run. That
might be the most impressive statistic.
I think so.
And I think it's the championship statistic for those Seahawks.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. Because we know, like, we've seen a guy, I think everyone can agree Lamar Jackson is 100 times better than Sam Darnold.
They're in a different galaxy.
Different galaxy. There you go. But the fact is, Lamar Jackson turns the ball over in the postseason, which causes his team to lose. I mean, it is what it is. We can look at all the other things, the drops,
Lamar
the turnovers, blah, blah, blah.
0 turnovers in a playoff run. The Ravens would have 5 Super Bowls.
Right. Exactly. So we got to give Sam Darnold his props for what he did do. Now, we can start kind of digging a little more into this. Now, one of the things that I did as soon as he won, because I watched for the most part how that playoff run was, right? It wasn't really that impressive other than, again, the NFC title game, which he played out of his mind.
Huge game. Yeah.
Right. But I likened his playoff run to Trent Dilfer in 2000 with the Ravens and Brad Johnson in 2002 with the Buccaneers. Very solid play, managed things very well, right? And had elite defenses, both of those guys. Okay, cool. So, like, we got elite defenses and running games. We have to take into account the circumstances. And as I said, I did some digging. I also compared for error, so we'll get to that. But let's go ahead and listen to what Colin Cowherd said recently regarding Sam Darnold. And you know how we do. We stop, we comment, stop, comment. All right.
Darnold's one of the best football players I've been around. So when he came out of college, I said there's a little Brett Favre and a little Andrew Luck.
All right, so let's stop out the gate. He just said Sam Darnold is one of the best football players I've been around. This guy's been in sports media 30 plus years now, and he said Sam Darnold is one of the best football players I've ever been around. Now, if there's a statement that should negate everything that comes after, it's probably that, right?
I don't understand, bro. Why does he have a hard on for Darn Goat?
I don't know. I don't know. And then he follows it up with, there's a little bit of Favre, a little bit of Luck. Andrew Luck, what? Nobody in their right mind is putting Sam Darnold
and
in
Andrew
the same
Luck.
sense. Mm-hmm.
Seriously, Bruce, if you analyze quarterback play and ability,
there you go.
Was like basically
Light
all
years?
pro every time he was in the league.
He was a problem. Yeah, he was light
Brett
years
Favre?
ahead of Sam Darnold.
I mean, he was the reason the Packers won a Super Bowl. Like,
Correct.
It was on him. It was on his arm.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, don't get me wrong. Reggie White and them, great defense, but they're not doing that.
They weren't scoring points, though.
Right. Exactly. Excuse me. So out of the gate, Colin Cowherd is saying wild things. Let's continue. What up, Transformer?
He can be reckless. Arm, athleticism, toughness, leadership. Guys, A++. I loved him out of college.
Sam Darnold, A++. Come on. You see what I'm talking about? Like, we get it. You like the guy.
What other quarterbacks are that rated?
So he's better than everybody then if he's A++.
Who do you ever rate like that?
I've never heard him call anyone else A++. and listen, no bull. I've been listening to Cowherd probably since like 2011, 2012. I've been listening to this dude a long time.
I never heard him rate a quarterback A++.
Yeah, I don't recollect him ever saying that. Clearly, he really likes this guy. Exactly, Transform. But it's not even recency bias.
Even with recency bias,
right?
You can't be rated an A++,
right?
Because you didn't have any turnovers,
and
you had an incredible one game that uplifted your team
and uplifted your whole playoff run.
That can't be an A++ because A++ is like a rating nobody gets.
All right, let's continue.
I admit in Carolina when he got benched, I was like, I'm not sure what to do. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think I'm wrong. I see like a little Andrew Luck and a little bit of Brett Favre, and people, oh, that's ridiculous. Well,
it is ridiculous.
How many Super Bowls does Favre have total? Oh, 1. How many does Andrew Luck have? None.
So now, because Brett Favre only has 1 Super Bowl, Sam Darnold is as good as Brett Favre. That's what he's telling us.
No, he's better because Brett Favre was never an A++ quarterback.
Oh, there you go. And he's better than Andrew Luck too. Okay, this is interesting. All right, let's continue.
Sorry, this is football. It's not baseball. We don't care about your batting average. The bottom line is executives don't know what to do. And I'll give you an example. I say this all the time. It's not just what happens when you enter a company. What happens to the one you leave?
So this is interesting how he's going to try to frame this, but I can handle that. I got it.
Minnesota Vikings, when Sam Darnold left, same coach, same coordinators, same left tackle, same receivers, won 5 fewer games, missed the playoffs.
Okay, so this is interesting. So let's go ahead and let's make this examination here. So first, we have to examine why Sam Darnold left the Vikings, right? So Sam Darnold goes 14-2, I think, with the Vikings, if I'm not mistaken. Incredible year. However, when they needed him most, where was he? I have the numbers here. Week 18 at the Lions in his final season with the Vikings. The Vikings lost 31-9. Sam Darnold was 18 of 41 for 166 yards. Okay. Very less than pedestrian. All right. Then they made the playoffs. That game, by the way, that week 18 game could have sealed the number 1 seed in the NFC. He laid an egg. What the bet? Next week, wild card versus the Rams. The Vikings lost 27-9. Sam Darnold is 25 of 40 for 245 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. So the 2 most important games of the year, he does not play well. On top of that, we know that the Vikings had already drafted the guy who they believed was the succession, right? Sam Darnold was never their long-term plan at quarterback. So they had drafted J.J. McCarthy at number 10. And you know how that goes. When you draft a guy high like that, you're just waiting for the opportunity for him to be able to play. So Darnold has a great season, goes 14-2, but lays an egg at the end in the 2 most important games. And then he wants big money. Well, they're not going to pay him the big money when they saw how poorly he played in the 2 most important games, right? So in those 2 games, he's a combined 43 of 81, 53%, 411 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Not good in the 2 most important games that year. Fair enough?
You said 430 yards in 2 games.
411 yards in 2 games. Right.
It's really, really average.
Exactly.
Like
53%.
Totally
53% completion in the modern NFL. That's
What's
terrible.
a good percentage, Bruce?
Now, about 64.
He's not even close.
Not even close. Not even close. So you do that, but then you go to them, you want more money, while they had drafted another quarterback who they thought was the future at number 10 overall. So they're like, hey, man, hey, thanks for what you did. Go ahead, go out there and do your work. Go get paid. Okay, cool. So we've got that. Now, he talks about same coordinator, same coach, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So now we do forget. Hold on. Well, let's move on. Hold on. We'll get there.
With Sam, they had their greatest year in 26 years. I mean, that included like Randy Moss years, right? He leaves Minnesota. They're bottom feel for their division. They don't feel like they're nearly as good now as Detroit, Green Bay, or Chicago. They would with Darnold. He goes to Seattle.
So Sam Darnold, according to him, would have made them, I guess, the best team in the division. Okay, cool. He goes to Seattle. Now he's going to talk about what Sam Darnold is able to do in Seattle. But let's be careful here how we evaluate Seattle, right? Because obviously he goes there. Jackson Smith and Jigba, you know all about him. Shout out to the Buckeyes. JSN already had caught 100 yards the year before for 100 catches for 1,130 yards and 6 touchdowns. Now, he went completely out of his mind in his first year with Sam Darnold, which, shout outs to him. 119 catches, 1,793 yards, right? Led the league. Great. But what we're forgetting here is the Seahawks, they didn't have the same OC, so they brought in a new OC, which helped to open up the offense, correct? People are forgetting Ryan Grubb, the OC the year prior to Sam Darnold's arrival, he got fired. They brought in Clint Kubiak, new system, right? Also, Sam Darnold had the benefit of playing with an elite defense, a better defense in Seattle than he had in Minnesota. That's a fact, and we'll get to that. I would
say
better running game too.
We could argue that that's arguably like the best defense of the last 10 years.
They were really, really good.
Like statistically dominant. So
they were up there, yeah.
You could say it like they're up there with the probably
Baltimore
top 2 in the last
Cleveland 10 years. And yeah. So Ed Dog still has no idea how to use the goalpost emoji. I don't know why he always puts it. But what we're doing, Ed Dog, I'm trying to help you. What we're doing is we are applying context to all this BS. But let's continue, okay? So Colin Cowherd is saying same coaches, same coordinators, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's continue.
They hadn't won a playoff game in 6 years.
That's
they
true.
hadn't made the playoffs in back-to-back years. They win the Super Bowl and simultaneously let go of their star receiver, DK Metcalf. Did not better.
All right, so they let go of DK Metcalf. Obviously, they saw what they had in JSN. So I didn't even think about that, right? Part of the reason that JSN's numbers went insane is because DK Metcalf wasn't there, taking away production from him. So we got to think about that as well. Now, let's also take a look at the defenses, shall we? Seahawks championship defense versus the 2025 Vikings. Okay. So the Seahawks, 17.2 points per game allowed, and they led the league in total defense, which is yards allowed. So they had the number 1 scoring defense. We saw how good they were. And in the Super Bowl, they had 6 sacks and 2 interceptions and a fumble recovery. So not only was that Seattle defense forcing turnovers, they were also stopping the run, and they were also getting the ball back consistently for Sam Darnold, which helps to put up numbers, right? Because what? You're getting extra possessions. Now, nobody is saying Sam Darnold is a bum. We are applying context to people that want to elevate him beyond his status, shall we say. Go ahead, Sneed.
Why doesn't everybody want to trade for him?
Great question.
Shouldn't everybody be lining up to get this great value?
Mm-hmm.
What is he getting paid, Bruce?
About 30 mil.
Why doesn't anybody offer assets for Sam Darnold?
Mm-hmm. Why didn't they redo his deal after he won the Super Bowl? Okay.
I'm a firm believer in watch what they do.
Yeah.
You really want to know what they think.
Mm-hmm.
The most flattering and most important compliment is money.
It is.
Right?
It is.
Because meritocracy, you get paid for the things that you can do.
Mm-hmm.
So what Sam Darnold can do, all that, as amazing as he is, 30 million? Good for him. I'm sure he's happy. 30 million. He doesn't want 40? Over 4 years? Guaranteed for 3? Signing bonus for 20?
Yeah, he should. Right after he won the Super Bowl, his agent should have been in there saying, "Hey, redo my guy's deal. Rip it up
Why
and redo
didn't
it."
they get a new deal? Oh.
Because he knows. That's why. He knows and they know. But let's continue with Cowherd and his wonderful talk about
propaganda.
Yes, that's a good word. Yeah.
Did not matter. JSN became a 1 with Sam Darnold, right? Like, so I'm watching Minnesota before he gets there, meh, gets there, wow, leaves there, meh. I'm watching Seattle, meh, gets there, wins the Super Bowl. What's the thread line?
So I get it. If you're looking at it on a surface level, which Cowherd is very good at doing, even though he's a smart guy, he's very good at doing that in order to manipulate the situation. He doesn't want to dig deeper. He doesn't like the fact that there are a number of quarterbacks in the league who in the preseason quarterback rankings were rated higher than him, whether it's Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, etc. He does not like that. And he's going to bring up Jalen Hurts, and we're going to get to him as well. But again, he's being disingenuous because he's not acknowledging the fact that Seattle changed the whole offensive scheme, and you have Kenneth Walker III. If Sam Darnold is what they say, why is Kenneth Walker III the Super Bowl MVP? How about that? How about that, Ed Dog? How about that, Coach T? Why is Kenneth Walker III the Super Bowl MVP? Y'all are in the chat telling me how great Sam Darnold is. A++. Right. There we go. All right, let's continue.
What do we have in common here? So, people love Joe Burrow, and they should. Joe Burrow's amazing. He's number 4 in the list. Darnold's not on it. People love Burrow. And the reason they love Burrow the most is he had a 2-year period where he won 22 games and got to a Super Bowl. Darnold's in a 2-year period where he's won 28 games and won a Super Bowl, and he's not on the list. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to do.
If you gave Joe Burrow that Seattle defense, do you think he'd have a Super Bowl? Come on, man. Like, we got to stop this.
Of course not. Joe Burrow is not an A++ quarterback.
You're right. But nobody outside of Cowherd thinks that Sam Darnold is better than Joe Burrow. Oh, and Ed Dog. I'm sorry. So, but let us continue. Matter of fact, okay, when he brings up Jalen Hurts, we'll go ahead.
Herbert's never won a playoff game. Dak has one. Burrow can't stay healthy, can't make the playoffs.
So he is right about Justin Herbert. And y'all know how I feel about Justin Herbert. I think he's the most overrated quarterback in the league. Has not won a playoff game. Yeah, and it's funny.
But the reason, Bruce, that we drive this fork through like so, with so much power and intensity is because a lot is made and a lot is said, and there's a big buildup and there's an overrating element to it. You don't have smoke for the bums who are in the bottom 5 of the league.
Right.
You have the smoke for the ones who are overrated in the top 10 ratings by like media and those that cover the sport.
Right, for sure. All right, let's continue with Cowherd.
Again, images are powerful. Those first images are incredibly powerful. You see it with Jalen Hurts. He comes onto the scene. He gets to a Super Bowl. All the data is telling you he struggles to throw the ball over the middle of the field. Greg Cosell's been telling us for 2 years he can't see it. But years ago, he had a perfect team. He had a stacked roster. You have a great running back. Yeah, and that's the reality. The league's executives do not know what to do with Sam Darnold.
So wait a minute. Perfect team, great running back, stacked roster. Hold on. Okay. We just saw Sam Darnold, right? Did he not have the perfect team? He had arguably the best defense in the league, right? Whether it's them or the Texans, that's top 2 defense in the league with Seattle. Okay. He has a top 4, top 5 receiver in the league, weapon, right? He's got that. He's got the Super Bowl MVP in the backfield that he can turn around, shout out Transformer, and hand the ball off to him, right? He's got that. So what is the difference? He just finished talking about how Philly had a stacked roster, right? They had a great team, a great running back. That's exactly what Sam Darnold has. You see, this is why these guys can do this, because they don't have anyone to push back. Excuse me. Pardon me. But that's okay, because let's take hold on one second.
By the way, we got a breaking news story.
What do we have?
The Cleveland Cavaliers have just successfully traded Max Strus, a first-round pick and a second-round pick for Peyton Watson, formerly of the Denver Nuggets.
Okay. I think I did see that. Okay.
So that trade essentially addresses an extreme need for the Cavaliers, which is a true-to-life starting NBA like small forward, like a wing.
Okay. That's nice.
Who can legitimately score without plays being drawn up for him and will defend his position well. Because James Harden ain't shit. Yeah, there we go. Cavs just got better. They addressed a couple of needs in terms of roles, and that makes things really interesting in the East. Okay. Even more interesting, I should say. Because the Celtics are still good. The Knicks are good. The Sixers, the Heat. The East is a monster right now. Pistons. Oh, yeah.
All right. So, Jalen Hurts. So, here's the deal. The reason people talk about Jalen Hurts the way they do, well, some people, is because Jalen Hurts is a 2-time Super Bowl participant, a one-time Super Bowl champion, a Super Bowl MVP, unlike Sam Darnold, right? And both times he outplayed Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. Can we agree to that? Can we agree on that? So most people will have Patrick Mahomes as flat out the best quarterback in the league, and Jalen Hurts outplayed him in the biggest game twice. So there's that. Okay, good. Now, anyone who is thinking that Sam Darnold is better than Jalen Hurts is just nuts. But let's continue with what Cowherd said, and we have
4 teams, 4 years, 32-9. That's more impressive, right? Like the old Bill Parcells, whatever team he went to, he won. Whatever the environment won, whatever, you could put Bill Parcells anywhere. Rebuilding jobs, he won. Didn't have to win Super Bowls, he won.
All right, so that's Cowherd talking about Sam Darnold being very disingenuous, leaving a lot of information out. But that's okay, right? Because, and just also to mention it, he talked about the stacked team, right? In the Super Bowl that the Eagles won, where they dominated Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, the Eagles defense had 6 sacks, 2 interceptions. One of them was a pick 6, 1 fumble recovery. Lo and behold, the Seahawks last year, 6 sacks, 2 interceptions, 1 pick 6, 1 fumble recovery. Amazing. So it seems that all the help that Colin Cowherd says Jalen Hurts had, Sam Darnold had it too. And Jalen Hurts still played better in the Super Bowl than Sam Darnold did. So let's get to that. Now, here's my other point. Remember earlier I said I likened Sam Darnold's run to Trent Dilfer in 2000 and Brad Johnson in 2002, okay? So Sam Darnold in the Super Bowl was 19 of 38. 50%, y'all, 50%. 202 yards and a touchdown. Trent Dilfer was 12 of 25, 153 yards, a touchdown. Brad Johnson, 18 of 34, 215 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. The point is, all those guys had the benefit of riding elite defenses to the championship. And that is exactly what Sam Darnold did. So you can liken him and you can liken his playoff run to those guys. And if we're real, if not for the out of this world NFC title game, his playoff numbers look a lot worse. That really lifted him up. So again, let me be clear. No one is saying Sam Darnold is not good. No one is saying Sam Darnold is a bum. For those people obsessed with USC, this has nothing to do with USC. No one cares. No one cares about
when was he in college, Bruce?
California. No one cares.
When was he in college?
He was in college like, what, 8 years ago? Him and Baker? They came out the same year. It was like 8 years ago. So no one cares. It's not about USC. It's about setting the record straight that this Sam Darnold glazing must stop. Cowherd, he's being disingenuous. Now, I get it. He wants his victory lap, which he's been taking since the Super Bowl, and it's crazy. But I get he wants his victory lap because he's been a Darnold guy since Darnold was in college. I get it. But other people who are Sam Darnold this and Sam Darnold that, and they're mad because other quarterbacks are rated higher than Sam Darnold and all that. Well, yeah, because last year was the first year we saw Sam Darnold get it done. And again, he had the benefit of incredible things working with him. So that is what that is.
You know what, though, Bruce?
Yeah.
Not everybody can win when they have enough.
That's true. Lamar Jackson hasn't.
And not everybody can win it, obviously, when they don't have enough.
Mm-hmm.
For example, if a quarterback plays out of his mind and doesn't really have everything and they still find a way to win, that's special. Those are the guys that get overpaid.
Yeah.
Those are the guys that are highly coveted by teams. I don't know. What did you think of Aaron Rodgers the year he, carried the Packers to a championship on a 6 seed?
Oh, we know how great he was.
Came in as a wild card and won that Super Bowl.
We know how great he was.
I don't think Sam Darnold could get out of that first round matchup.
Listen,
let alone carry his team to a championship. I think the Seahawks were so good. They had so much wiggle room.
Mm-hmm.
He just didn't have to make mistakes, but he didn't have to play great. But the one game he did, he provided.
Yeah.
But why didn't he provide 2 of those?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's got 2 of those in him.
Right.
Very few guys have that. Have that.
Right.
That's look. I don't want to say he's a bad quarterback. He's not.
He's
bad.
not. He's not
good. He clearly, when he's coached properly, has the right players. He's very good.
Sure. Yeah.
But we don't have to take him out to be what he isn't.
There you go. There you go. And if we're real, Eli Manning's run was better. Eli Manning's second run, well, both of them, but especially the second one with, I think, like the 27th ranked defense, that was better than Sam Darnold. Like, can we just stop? Can we just stop?
And we're talking about great players who have the ultimate respect from everyone.
Right.
And actually, nobody really should disrespect Sam Darnold.
No.
As long as they call a spade and say, he had a great run.
Right.
And he played a great game.
Right.
And he played good enough for the Seahawks to win.
Mm-hmm.
Some guys, we've seen Pete Carroll do it, thought too much of their quarterback.
Right.
And threw away a championship trying to be cute. Right. So they played within their system, within who they are, and they reap the benefits of a championship. Bro, championships are elusive, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy to win chips.
Right.
There are teams that have 10, 15-year all-pro quarterbacks and don't win a chip.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. No doubt. No doubt. Ed Dog, I see you want to call in. You hot and bothered. By the way, Ed Dog, are you pouring honey for Sam Darnold? It seems that way. Isn't that the term you like to use? But this is what I want to say, Ed Dog. You call in, I'll take your call, but you know what you have to do. You have to tell me what I said that wasn't true. Tell me what I said that wasn't true and prove it. We don't just deal with taking calls and feelings and emotions out here. Prove it. Make a proper call. Let's go. 904-219-8264. Ed Dog, how can I help you, sir?
Okay. It's a lot to unpack.
Before you start unpacking, did I tell any lies? Because I got everything right in front of me.
No, sir, you did not.
Okay, very good.
Now, wait a minute. Now, let's start right here. Bruce, he did not have the worst. I saw somebody in the chat said that Sam Darnold playoff pass rating was average. Fine. But however, he did not have the worst passer rating in the Super Bowl.
Nobody said that.
Well, somebody in the chat did because I
talk to me. Talk to me. I'm not in the chat. Okay. Talk to me. I didn't say that. Sneed didn't say that. Go ahead.
Okay. Cool. Now, let's go from the beginning. Sam Darnold, Bruce, what other quarterback besides Joe Namath won a Super Bowl with the Jets? Had a good team.
Joe Namath.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was it. That was it. Now, I'm not going to make no excuses.
Very good.
Playoff Sammy did not have no weapons when he was with the Jets. He didn't have no weapons. Not at all. When you have to have key players in key positions to win. Can we at least agree on that?
Sure, go ahead, man. Get to it.
Okay, thank you. Now, thank you. Hold on. Now you talking about when Kenneth Walker, shout out, Tennessee native. No, I know his uncle. He won the Super Bowl MVP. And so what does that mean? Let's go back. Those first three Super Bowls that the New England Patriots won, was Tom Brady a Super Bowl MVP?
I think he got one of them. I think he got Super Bowl MVP against the Panthers. I'm not sure if he got it against the Eagles.
Okay.
He might have had both of them. I don't think he had the first one.
I know he didn't have that one, and then also I know he didn't get the one when they played against the Rams because I think hold on, wait a minute, I think the kicker, New England Patriots, I think he got those first two. I think so. But anyway, regardless, we see. But the point of the matter is that just because you won a Super Bowl MVP means that you are elite.
Ed Dog, don't try to do that. The point is this: the way you talk about Sam Darnold. He should have been the MVP. You're missing the point. Don't try to be slick. By the way, Tom Brady has 5 Super Bowl MVPs. So he got MVP in the first one. He got MVP in the one against the Panthers. Got MVP in the one against the Seahawks, the Falcons, and the Chiefs when he was with the Bucks. So 2 out of his first 3, he won MVP.
Okay, cool.
5 out of 7.
Like, but I'm just the point I'm making is that okay, just because he didn't get a Super Bowl MVP. Now the next.
No, you're missing the point. It's not about him not getting Super Bowl MVP. It's if he was what you say he was, he would have been the MVP. I'm making the point. Stop. I'm talking. I'm making the point that he was carried in the Super Bowl by his run game and his defense, and that is irrefutable. You know that.
So, who carried Tom Brady when they played against the Rams? When the score was 6-9. I'm just saying. We got to keep it even across the playing field. I give you that, Bruce. I give you that. Now, the next thing, too. Now, we're doing a lot of what if. If Joe Burrow played with the Seahawks, if Lamar Jackson, which, by the way, I see how you like to bring up Joe Burrow, but you didn't want to say Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson had a good owner.
When have I not been critical of? Don't start. I've been critical of Lamar Jackson, so don't try that. Don't act like I've been moving the goalpost. Don't do that.
Hold on. What I'm saying, sir, is that we've seen Lamar Jackson with a 5 years straight with a top 5 defense. The year he won unanimous MVP. Come on now. Let's not do that.
Let's not do that. I don't know why you're bringing up Lamar when I am the Ravens fan who is the most critical of Lamar. You know that and I know that. So stop it.
But you brought up.
You don't even have a point.
Look, okay, the point I'm at is that, you know what I'm saying, like you saying the what ifs, the Lamar Jackson played with the Seahawks or Joe Burrow played with the Seahawks. We're doing a lot of what ifs. Let's not do that. Come on now. We can't keep going doing
I didn't say Lamar Jackson. I said Joe Burrow. And the reason I said Joe Burrow is, one, we know that he hasn't never had an elite defense or O-line, right? And we know that he was literally one play from winning the Super Bowl. But that's neither here nor there. But the point is, go on.
True. And then not only that, now I do appreciate you, Bruce, even though, you know, he proved you wrong when he played against the Rams and he was cooking, willing and dealing in the NFC Championship game. I give you credit for that.
Okay, I was about to say, how many times you need to hear me say that? I've been saying it since it happened.
I want to make sure everybody in the chat can hear you loud and clear. You know what I'm saying? Because he's been disrespected a lot. Coming from you, sir.
Disrespected.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. But look, man. Now you talk about why he didn't get a contract and all that. Truth be told, that's right. But you know, a lot of teams, Seahawks saw something in him.
Apparently nobody else did.
Well, guess what?
Exactly.
Seattle saw something. They saw what he was doing those two that year. You know, finished with 14-2, and they say, hey, let's grab this guy. We got the weapons, so why not? I'm not gonna say he's elite. I would say that he's a game manager. Is that fair?
That's what we've been. Oh my gosh. That's what we've been saying. And
I don't remember you saying it. I don't recall you saying it.
Didn't I say he's a game? What the hell?
I don't recall you saying that. I always hear Ronald McDonald. That's the most I ever hear from you. Just Ronald McDonald. That's all I hear.
No. Your problem is you don't. Okay. Go ahead.
You've been mumbling a lot.
No. Go ahead, Ed Dog. Finish up the call. Land the plane.
Okay. Land the plane is that, man. Hey, I will say this right here. The NFC West, they will finish number 2 because the Rams are going to take over their division. They will be a playoff team. They will be a contender. That's it. That's all I got to say, sir.
So while I have you, you can admit that Sam Darnold is not what you say he is, correct?
As far as being an elite quarterback?
Yeah. The way you talk about him, he's not what you say, correct?
Nah. I wouldn't say he's not an elite quarterback.
It's too easy.
Hold on.
Jesus Christ.
However, he will be proving the doubters and the haters wrong this coming following season.
Why is someone a hater if they provide the context? I'm asking you. I'm asking you. Why is someone a hater if they provide the context? Look how I just dismantled Cowherd. Look how easily I just dismantled that. Why does that make me a hater? Answer the question.
I wasn't calling you, but hit dogs holler. But you got the show must keep going on.
Yeah, let the show keep going on. Thank you for using my statement too. All right. Thank you for the call.
All right, bro.
All right, bro.
All right, brother.
Yeah. All that just to agree with me, Sneed.
I've seen that before.
All that just to agree.
I've seen that before.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Well, I guess we're not gonna get any more calls. Thought we were gonna get a call from the University of South California, but I guess not. Let's go ahead. All right, let's move to the next topic. This I thought was kind of interesting, right? So I was listening to, I can't remember what podcast I was listening to, but I thought it was very interesting. It was talking about the possibility of whether or not we'll ever have a Super Bowl overseas. And what's our guy's name? Roger Goodell was basically saying that he believes that he's pretty much sure that there will eventually be a Super Bowl overseas. I think I have some sound on that. Yes, this is let me put that up, guys. Sorry. I have some sound from Mike Florio on Football Talk, and this was interesting. So we'll listen to that. Basically, these guys, he and Chris Sims are discussing the prospect of possibly, having NFL football overseas. And a big part of it, the reason why, is because Roger Goodell said that obviously there needs to be a team overseas first. And so these guys are discussing the possibility of an NFL team overseas. And to me, and I think they'll get to it, I think the biggest hurdle would be logistics. What do you think about that, Sneed, in terms of having a team overseas?
It would never be an issue with seating. It would never be an issue in capacity.
Right.
It would be the fact that the premium paying customer for all things Super Bowl experiences, the venues that would be required to support the American accommodations that people are looking for, the guest services, the experiences that go with the football for like the 2 weeks that lead up to the Super Bowl, the media coverage, like everything becomes really complicated, requires passports. Everything becomes very difficult and challenging, a lot of new hurdles. Not to say it can't be managed. It's to say that you would be creating like risk for failure points and a possible glitch to the execution of the biggest sporting event in North America. So you'd be taking it out of the continent and putting it somewhere else.
Yeah, that's a great point.
I don't know how you're gonna take all the American football things and move it to a country where they don't do American football things.
Well, I think that you would, and they're going to talk more so about establishing teams overseas. So if you have teams established overseas, then theoretically you would have the American infrastructure established. Like, so let's say they started a team, the Sneeds, and they put that in Germany. It would take at least, I would say, 5 to 10 years before they could even think about putting a Super Bowl there.
Name an expansion team in the NFL that has really done it all in 5 to 10 years, Bruce.
Right. No, well, not done it all, but if we remember, I think both in their second years, the Jags and the Panthers went to the conference championship.
But neither one.
Right. But that's the best example I can give of a deep run.
Well, I could have quoted those things too, Bruce. I'm with you.
Gotcha.
I'm saying that in order to, and the Carolina Panthers, when did they come in, Bruce? The mid-90s?
Yeah. Matter of fact, they did end up in the Super Bowl.
Where would you stack them in the pantheon of NFL organizations?
Bottom third.
I would too. The Jags?
Bottom third.
I would too.
Right. Well, let's hear what these guys have to say about the possibility of actual teams overseas, which I guess having teams overseas and having them set in and all that would theoretically and possibly lead to the possibility of a Super Bowl down the road. But they're specifically going to talk about teams overseas.
What Goodell said to Marcus Kuhn is this: at some point, there will be NFL teams outside the USA. I have no doubt that this will happen one day. That's the clearest statement yet. Now, is it just the latest example of dangling the carrot to get people excited? They don't need to get people excited in Germany. They're already excited. That is the most unequivocal, unconditional, clear statement I've seen of indication and confidence that the NFL is going to have teams in other countries. And
I'll say this, though. Germany would be easy work for an NFL team because you have a bunch of service people over there. So that right there creates a market immediately. So you have service people, and then you have some people who are retired service people who stayed. They may have blended German-American families or American-German, however you want to put it. Same thing in the UK. In England, you have service people there, not as many as in Germany, but it could work. It could work. There's a lot of American expats in Western Europe, so it definitely could work. Let's go ahead.
I think we kind of know it's going to happen, but to hear the commissioner say it that clearly,
that's right.
That's significant.
Yeah, you're right. We haven't heard that. I don't remember him ever saying anything like, "Hey, our hope, one day we're trying to expand the sport." I mean, it's always been kind of like blanket statements like that. But to say that, there's no doubt at some point there'll be a team outside, that is a strong statement from the commissioner. And like you said, anybody that's following the sport, I think, expects that.
There's too much money for it not to happen.
They just confirmed that they've been working it. That means they have the framework for the teams in place. In fact, it probably means they have options.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably looking at least 2 teams.
I'm sure.
Because they're going to want them to play each other.
Mm-hmm.
And that the logistics of it would be a little bit easier if they're both European, at least 2 more teams.
And then 1 per conference would, even things out too. Yeah.
It's just going to be, again, how it all gets done and everything there. And that way, it's not going to be an easy formula to figure out. There's no league in the world that would have that kind of consistent travel to go, hey, yeah, we got a regular season game and in a time zone 7 hours from now, and we're going to go play there and take a 15-hour flight. That's going to be an obstacle. There's no doubt about it. But nonetheless, it will be cool when it does happen, and I look forward to that day. Hopefully I'm alive. But yeah, it seems inevitable.
So I think one of the things that, whatever point the West Coast teams have to go, let's say these games are in Europe, the teams are in Europe. Whenever the West Coast team has to go there, clearly maybe the best move would be to schedule those guys for a Thursday night game. Let them go there, play the following Sunday, then give them a bye after that. So they have plenty of time to get their bodies back right for the next game. They have plenty of time to get their bodies right for the game there, and then the next game when they get home. I mean, obviously that's easier said than done, but that would be my thought.
I would schedule them for Monday night games the following week as well.
Right. Push it out as far as possible to help them. Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The obstacles include the travel, and there has been an effort by the NFL to monitor advances in the return of supersonic travel. Concorde, long gone. But there are different planes. Now, I think the size of the planes, they have to have a whole fleet of them to get the football team and everyone who makes the trip to go play the game in the other country there. But the travel is an issue. The tax rates in the other countries, the exchange
what
rates.
Do you do?
The fact that you're going to have guys who say, I don't want to play in London.
So the tax rate, that's something I hadn't thought about, because I know that's part of the reason that a lot of guys don't like playing in Toronto, because the income tax is much heavier in those countries. Toronto, England, France, Germany, those places, because they're all they're social democracies. So their income tax rates are much higher. But I'm sure that maybe there would have to be some way to compensate these guys monetarily for it. But I know, and maybe this is just me, if I'm a young dude and I get drafted to the league and I get a chance to go play in freaking London or Germany, sign me up. Sign me up. At least, okay, I'll play my first contract there. And if I want to come back home after that, I'll try to do that. But yes, sign me up. What? That's a great opportunity. But, I don't know. It would be interesting.
I don't want to live in Germany.
Exactly.
I didn't sign up to play pro football to get shipped off to Australia. Not that they would ever have a team there, but and I think the ultimate perfect end configuration of the NFL would be a division with 4 European teams and a division with 4 Pacific teams. And the NFC gets one of them and the AFC gets the other. And then you got 5 divisions per conference of 4 teams each, and that gets you to 40. I think that would be the way to make it happen. But that means 8 new teams, and I think the NFL doesn't want to go from 32 to 40.
No. That would be crazy. That would be crazy to think, 40 teams in the league. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
There are 32 now. 36, I think, is reasonable, but that to me is probably the stopping point.
32 teams, and there are several that are really awful, Bruce. Like perennially bad.
Mm-hmm.
So the teams that are expansion are going to also be bad at some point, for a certain duration of time, as they are going to require good administration,
right?
Good leadership, good drafting, good.
Yeah, I just think it was a cool discussion here. It would be a very interesting thing, I think, to happen. I'd be all for it. I mean, like I said, Western Europe has a ton of American expats. They got a lot of service people. I don't think that. I mean, obviously, I don't think you need to try and start with you don't even need to build new stadiums, right? You make deals for them to play in the existing soccer stadiums, right? And see how that goes, see how much of it you can fill up. And then once you really start getting that expansion out to the local, not even American fans, but you start getting the Europeans to get a little more into it, it could be very, very, very viable. What they're trying to do is they're trying to cut in on the NBA's global expansion. They see how the NBA was able to do it, but obviously basketball is very different, right? You need a lot less to play basketball. You need less coaching, you need less equipment, so on and so forth. So I don't know. It's going to be very interesting. Ready to open up the phone lines? Let's go. 904-219-8264, 904-219-8264. What are your thoughts on the possibility of overseas NFL teams, which would eventually, hopefully, lead to an overseas NFL Super Bowl one day? What are your thoughts?
Don't sleep on the possibility an NFL team today might move to Europe.
Ooh, I didn't think about that. I was thinking about like a new team.
Because, well, sure, but Bruce, you give an owner right now who's not happy with his stadium, an owner who's not happy with the city, an owner who's not happy with returns. I mean, a lot of investors are looking at Europe as the next great investment opportunity for them. Because, I mean, maybe they feel like things are pretty saturated here, right? So, like, exploring, and then you would kind of be like your own game. You'd be the only game in town. Like, we're the only NFL team here. Like, you're getting their merch if you're getting NFL merch. You're getting their fans if you're getting NFL fans there.
Right. Yeah. Very interesting. Very interesting. I like it. Obviously I'm a little different. I've spent time overseas. I like traveling overseas. I think it would be super cool if I got drafted, 3 years and I get to go live in London.
It's gonna have to be a lot of accommodations though, Bruce, like to make it work.
It's the other part. I didn't even think of it. Work visas and all of that stuff. Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Passports, visas.
Right.
Clearance, approval.
Yeah.
Like they're going to have a special team, a task force for
just to handle
athletes. Yeah, because they're going to have to be expedited. Like you're not holding them up with the general public.
No,
it's not going to work.
Right. No, you're not. Yeah, that's cool.
They ain't flying commercial, Bruce. That's
no, they're not. They are not. And the question is, are the owners? I mean, they got team planes already, but like he said, the possibility of faster team planes, higher level ones, are the owners going to want to shell out for all that? Because they got to pay for that. But is it going to be worth it when you're opening up a brand new market, brand new merchandise sales, all those things? Who knows?
I'm also looking forward to the first NFL player to say, I'm not going on a plane to Europe. I'm not taking a 10-hour flight. I ain't doing this.
That's cool.
It's going to be in the collective bargaining agreement. They're going to have to, iron some of those things out.
But that's cool though. This ain't the NBA, so if they say that, and say, okay, cool, somebody's waiting to take your spot, no problem.
Yeah, definitely ain't the NBA.
Not at all. All right, let's move on to the next topic. The next topic, 2026 Baltimore Ravens.
Boo.
Not going to be that long. So, the Baltimore Ravens, coincidentally, we were just talking about them and Lamar Jackson and such in the Sam Darnold topic. But Lamar Jackson is, as we know, one of the best quarterbacks in the league, one of the best overall players in the league. He is a 2-time MVP, 1-time unanimous. Could have been a 3-time MVP, but, whatever. The Ravens are a team historically built on elite defense. The last few years, they haven't quite been that. Lamar Jackson has a record of 3-5 in the playoffs, and they've had 2 number 1 seeds. He's been in 2 conference championship games. John Harbaugh was the coach of the Ravens, I think, for 17 seasons. And finally, after having won a championship in 2013, which was 13 years ago now. Wow. The Ravens and owner Steve Bisciotti decided it was time for a new voice. They fire Harbaugh, and he was able to move on to the New York Giants and reestablish himself there. And the Ravens hired their former defensive coordinator, Jesse Minter, who won a national championship at Michigan with Jim Harbaugh, John's brother, and had a very good defensive unit in San Diego with Jim Harbaugh. So now he's the head coach of the Ravens, and he's trying to get them back to, I guess, kind of playing more of Ravens-style football, which is dominating defense, running the ball. We know that's been for the most part, that's been how they've won championships.
Would probably get the fan approval.
Yeah. Because you know how certain cities, there's like a DNA, a way you play, right? Like, for instance, like we know
especially
with LA.
If they've won that way before, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Like you look at the Lakers, they've always been a high-flying, high-scoring, acrobatic type team for the most part, right? From Showtime all the way up to the Lake Show and those guys, right? When they're at their best, they have a flashy glamour and glitz style of play. You could probably say the opposite for the Celtics, and the Steelers and the Ravens are known for smash mouth defense, that kind of thing. The Bears. So when you have a certain type of way that you're known for playing historically, that also often matches the city that you play in, right? Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Chicago, right? These type of cities. And so it helps the fan base identify with you as a team. And so anyway, Jesse Minter's back. He's trying to get the Ravens back to playing the way they played. Along with him, he selects Declan Doyle, who came from the Ben Johnson staff in Chicago, bringing that system to try and help Lamar Jackson to hopefully play better and be as elite as he can be when he needs to be as elite as he can be. They draft 2 wide receivers. They draft Jacoby Lane. They draft Elijah Surratt out of Indiana, national champion. So they are, obviously you still have Derrick Henry, who's consistently a 1,500 yard rushing guy. They have some studs on defense. They got young guys. They got veterans, so on and so forth. So they are trying to get back to what they can be. My question is, Sneed, what do you think the Ravens can be this season? First year in a new system, what do you think they can be? Lamar Jackson seems to like the system a lot. He's spoken highly of it.
I mean, I think they could be a playoff team.
Mm-hmm.
You have a lot of talent on that roster, and you have it at some very premium positions.
Right.
So, defensively, if they become reliable, like week in, week out, they're getting stops, they're getting the ball back to Lamar, they're winning games, they're holding opponents. If they get back to doing some of those fundamental things defensively, then they're going to be good. They're going to be competitive in most of their games. How consistent their offense is, because if you remember, I talked about this before. If the Ravens run the ball consistently,
right,
the opportunities in terms of the passing game become like high percentage, right? Like it's about efficiency for Lamar. He doesn't need 40 attempts a game. Right. He needs 30, but they need to be of high quality, like him throwing 30 or 35 passes, but completing like 65-70% of them, right? And a mix, shots down the field off the play action, midfield to Andrews, hashes, just diversity and threatening teams in multiple ways. My fear, like if I'm a Ravens fan, is they think because they got a new coach, all of a sudden they have an instant winner.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just getting a coach doesn't solve your problem. It assumes that the last coach was the problem. So what? Addition by subtraction? It's not good math.
Right.
In this case, right? NFL football, it's different. You have to have a guy come in, have a system, bring in the players, get the players coached up to work in the system, or draft players that fit the system, right? So, like, you got to do a lot of things. Lamar gives you wiggle room. He's that special.
He
can win you games. So, like, it's like a trump card. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like a wild card. You just don't know week in and week out. He could win you a week. And Derrick Henry can win you a week. You know, he's capable of doing that. So, defense has to be consistent. The offense has to threaten the other team's defenses. And I think for Lamar, 35 TDs.
Yeah.
6 or 7 picks.
Yeah, if he can stay healthy, that works.
Yeah, but like playing smart football and just focusing on the team winning. I mean, they could win 10 games, Bruce. I think it's very possible. And I think it's a good season.
Well, if we remember, Lamar Jackson has the highest passer rating in NFL history. He does not turn the ball over a lot during the regular season. So I don't think the regular season is the concern. The concern is getting back to the defense being what it can be and having the discipline to contain turnovers in the postseason.
So my concern for this particular team is if your coach doesn't properly execute the things that prepare you for the playoffs. How many times, Bruce, we've seen hot teams have great seasons and then they get their asses kicked in the first round or the second round?
Yeah.
They get a bye week and then lose in their
right,
divisional round matchup.
Right.
Like that happens all the time. So I don't know.
Well, I think clearly what the Ravens are hoping is that they can get the Mike McDonald effect in Seattle. Coincidentally, Mike McDonald was also a Ravens OC and Ravens defensive coordinator. So they bring back their other guy who was a Ravens defensive coordinator, Jesse Minter, who knows the building, knows the system, kind of knows the culture, and all that helps, I think. But the question is, can he call the right plays at the right time? Can he get all these guys, playing in his system?
I'm going to give you the biggest what if, Bruce.
For sure.
What if they start 1-3 in the first month? Is everybody going to say we got to fire this guy?
No, you can't. He's a first-time head coach in his first year. You can't.
So there's a version of this, Bruce, where that's a rough month.
Yeah.
Welcome to the the AFC. AFC
welcome
North.
to head coaching. Yeah.
Welcome to the NFL. There's some of that. That's why I think it's important that Lamar gets started off on a strong note. Derrick Henry runs the ball, and the defense settles in and really just stabilize this team. Bruce, when the defense is good in Baltimore, a lot of stuff can be forgiven on offense.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
They got all pros there too, Bruce. There's all pros on this team.
Yeah.
That's why last year was so messed up.
Yeah, disappointing.
Bruce, I thought they were going to win like 13 games. There's so much talent. And then they opened the season with the loss to the Bills, and it got worse. That wasn't like a good enough wake-up call. It got worse.
Yeah, that was tough. Coach T says in Lamar's defense, a lot of those turnovers were not all his fault. So I get it, Coach T, but you are a multiple-time MVP quarterback, so you're going to get the blame for those turnovers. That's how it goes. You know that, and I know that. When those things happen, the quarterback gets the blame, just like he gets the props when it all works out. Come on, man. We know what that is. That's just the way this quarterback thing goes. You're making all the money. You're getting all the shine. Again, you're a multiple-time MVP. That's just how it is. Does that mean everything is your fault? No. But you're supposed to go sit up there at the podium and say it is.
I know a guy who wants all the respect and adulation and celebration, but doesn't want the blame when it goes bad. I know a guy like that.
Yeah. Know a guy like that too. Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, what we're looking forward to seeing, some of us anyway, is whether or not the Ravens can get back to what they once were. Can they stop the pass? The Chargers' pass defense was way better last year, and so if you can do that, you got a really good chance because the run defenses were pretty even. Now, obviously, you also want the Ravens' run defense to get kind of back to what it once was. But yeah,
what's the schedule to open up, Bruce? The first month?
I'll tell you in a second.
Curious to know because you get started on a good note, get the good vibes, honeymoon phase, right? The coach is feeling good. He's got his guys feeling themselves, and then they get into some of the divisional, matchups, and it kind of like vibes, right? Like if they feel good about how they're playing, they play with confidence, so you get better outcomes.
So they start with the Colts. Their run defense will be tested immediately.
Yeah, that's
then they go to this. Then they have the Saints at home. Then they go to the Cowboys. That defense will be tested again because the Cowboys can throw it. So you have Pickens and CD Lamb. That's going to be tough. Yeah. So Minter's really going to have to scheme that up. And then the Titans. So that's the first 4 weeks. Colts, Saints, Cowboys, Titans. 2-2 or 3-1.
I think 3-1 is very doable. I think 3-1 is very doable in that. I mean, you want to win all your games, but
of course,
just put in an underachieving moment here and there. Let's 3-1 would be great.
If you could pull that off, you're in good shape. Yeah. And maybe the one is the Cowboys, as much as I hate to say it, because their passing game is kind of crazy. So we'll see.
Have to play a little keep away from those guys.
Yeah. Following that is Atlanta, Cleveland, Cincinnati, and Buffalo. So that right there could be a dangerous stretch. They'll beat Atlanta, probably beat Cleveland, Cincinnati if Burrow's healthy, and then Buffalo. Those are two obviously tough division matchups.
Yeah, and those quarterbacks will put stress on defenses. So
correct, exactly.
Yeah.
Jacksonville, Los Angeles, Carolina, Houston, Tampa Bay, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh. That the second half of the season is no joke. That is not
colder, and they're going to be in the AFC North.
Yeah, for sure. Yes, we do have the best safety in the game, Kyle Hamilton. Not my opinion. Highest rated, and
whose opinion?
Everybody who matters. Go Irish. Kyle Hamilton.
Hey, man, we got a guy in Dallas that just showed up. We'll see.
Bad man. Yeah, bad man for sure.
He's gonna be blowing up some plays, bro. Chill out.
I already know.
It's a shame he plays for Dallas, though, bro. It's a shame.
Yeah.
You're gonna get to see him, right?
Yeah.
Week 3?
That's right. Yeah.
Week 3.
Mm-hmm. And look, hey, we got my other guy in week 5, Xavier Watts.
You gotta sneak him
coming in with Atlanta. You gotta
be careful into that graphic up here, Bruce.
Gotta be careful throwing near Xavier Watts. He'll take that from you.
Yeah.
But yeah. So the Ravens do not have an easy schedule, but if you can get through this and win, 11 games, 11, 12 games, which would be tough.
That'd be a great year,
good shape going into the playoffs, I think.
That would be a great year for a first-year coach.
Agreed.
That would be amazing. I think if he had a season like that, I think people would feel very comfortable with him moving forward in the future.
Yeah.
Baltimore would be very happy.
For sure. 904-219-8264, 904-219-8264. What are your thoughts on how good the Ravens can be this season, the Baltimore Ravens? They have talent. I guess the question is, how will the new coaching regime do? We will find out. San Francisco should trade it up to get who, Coach T? Who's that? We'll find out what the Ravens can do this year. Like we said, it's a brand new regime. It's going to be very interesting. All right, looks like we're probably not going to get any calls on this one. So we'll go right ahead and get to the final topic.
Wemby.
Yeah, let's get a little
doing, bro? Is he kicking it with the monks?
Man, listen, this is crazy. Wemby is doing some. Hold on, let's go back. Coach T, what's up, man?
I'm about to show you how you can talk to your rival without giving them disrespect all the damn time.
What disrespect are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about, Bruce. You're always throwing disrespect my way.
I'm not throwing disrespect your way.
You always do, bro. Stop it.
I don't.
You're trying to act like you have amnesia all of a sudden.
I don't know.
You're not that damn old.
Amnesia.
You're not that damn old. Ready to get you some pills from the military?
Nah, I'm good.
The memory pills to help you out.
They have those?
Yes.
Damn, I need to ask for that. Shoot.
They do. They got memory pills. I know. I got a buddy of mine who take them because he got full disability because he.
What up, Coach T? What's going on, bro?
All right, but what you got, Coach T?
Your best friend over there always throwing disrespect to his number one member.
Go ahead. Let's get this train back on the rails. Come on, Coach T. Go ahead.
And I'm getting tired of it. Now it's just he's just doing it just to get under my skin.
Oh my gosh, Coach T, I don't know what you're talking about, man. But go ahead.
This effing guy over there. You know, he trying to treat me like Ed Dog now.
Coach T, I'm not trying to treat anyone like any, but go ahead, man. What you got?
Ed Dog.
So this is how you talk about your rival team without showing them get disrespect, Bruce. Take note. So you're talking about the Ravens season, even though my high school same colors as the Ravens. That's the only reason why I don't hate them.
Okay.
I think they're gonna be all right. They got great weapons out there for Lamar Jackson. You know, you got that boy from Southern Cal over there making waves in the preseason already.
Cool.
You know, you know who I'm talking about, Bruce. I told you need to. Yeah, I'm gonna order you some memory pills.
Okay, go ahead, man.
Sure. They're gonna be all right. He gonna make some noise in the offense, as long as they get the ball to him. He got him a deep threat and a threat over the middle. You know, long as Andrews don't drop game-winning touchdowns and first downs in the playoffs. I think they're gonna be all right. The defense is what you should be more interested in.
Oh, I
because didn't you guys reload? Didn't you guys load up that defense? You guys picked up a lot of your weaknesses from last year. You know, in your secondary.
Personally, I'm really looking more at the coaching. How it's going to be with Jesse Minter, you know, trying to redo the scheme and get all those guys acclimated to it.
Well, long as he's going to be out there trying to do stupid ass play calls, when the game on the line, trying to get pretty and stuff like your last one did. You know, I ain't gonna say no names. You know who I'm talking about, the one that you did a whole rant on. Long as they get back to Ravens football, give the rock to Derrick Henry. He still can be he's still a 2,000-yard rusher. You know, let him beat up on the defense for 3 quarters, tire them out, and then Lamar Jackson's taking home in the 4th quarter. You know, they can beat Kansas City. Ravens there's no excuse. Ravens should come out the AFC this year.
Wow.
They are very complete. You know, they got a lot of, you know, they got stronger, you know. So it all comes down to me, it's all come down to the play calling in those situations. You know, because you know it's gonna happen. You get in the playoffs, you're gonna get in those tight games. And as long as the coaching staff don't get rattled because, okay, we back in this situation, don't put too much pressure on themselves, like we can't fumble the bag again. You know, they stay calm, stay poised, and call the game like champions. They can come out the AFC because I don't see nobody beating them. You know, Kansas City still got to prove they got to bounce back. Indiana, the Colts, nah, I don't see them coming. I don't see them repeating. I think Mr. Jones is going to come back down to reality. Pittsburgh is not there yet, so they're going to win. That division is a lock, in my opinion. They just gotta do what Ravens do. Do Raven football. What the Transformers say? Turn around. Turn around. Yeah. Give it to Derrick Henry.
Right.
If it's 3rd and 3, turn around.
Right.
Don't get pretty. Give it to Derrick Henry. Y'all pay him all that money to get those damn 3 yards. You know, don't be doing no stupid-ish, trying to go for it all on 3rd and 3, and your tight end drop the ball in the end zone. So I'm not trying to give you no PTSD, Bruce.
All good.
I'm just saying, like, you know, it's gonna come down to the coaching. It's gonna come down to the coaching.
Here we go.
The defense is gonna be all right. Defense is gonna do their job. I don't see nobody threatening them.
Right.
I don't know. I see different than you. You worried about this team's offense, that team's passing game. This man, you got hogs up front. As long as they get through that line, blow up that backfield like they're supposed to do. You got fast linebackers that can go east, that can go east to west, north to south. You know, defensive ends do their job, stretch it to the boundaries, let them linebackers clean it up. Force them to long down situations. Let Kyle Hamilton have play pitch and catch back there.
Right.
I think the Ravens will be all right.
All right.
Do you agree or disagree with me, Bruce?
I think they'll be all right, but I don't know that I see them like coming out of AFC or anything like that. I wouldn't.
Oh, come on, bro!
No, I wouldn't.
With all that
especially not in the first season with a new coach and all that, man. But I don't.
Come on.
I agree with that.
Yeah. But all right, Coach T, I appreciate the call.
I think they're gonna see that. See, you can talk. You see, you can talk. You can say nice things about your rival without being disrespectful.
I still don't know what you're talking about, man. I got that.
You do.
I don't.
You do. You do.
Oh, okay.
You do. You trying to act like you got fake amnesia right now.
Yeah, I do. But let me take this call, man. I appreciate you, bro.
You see what he do? You see how you do, Sneed?
I'm trying to move the show along.
Trying to. I haven't hit 5 minutes yet.
Yes, you have. But thank you for the call, Coach T. We got to run. Coach T, we got to run.
Water on the bridge,
coming in, man.
So we can be cool. And he trying to push me to the
caller from Maryland. Who's this?
This Bruce. He's my work phone. What's going on with y'all?
What up, man?
What up, Bruce?
I'm gonna be objective. Let's see. It's gonna be a little bumpy, but very successful. It's realistic. 11-5. From what I've seen for the preseason game, it looks like everybody. How could I say? The energy is way different than it was last year. Everybody is popping. Even the preseason everybody it holds some value. From what I've seen in the preseason, there's a lot of discipline. The guys was going to run into the ball. But it looks like very, very few penalties. Jesse mentioned showed a little of our scheme and it worked well. But it's no more excuses because in 2023 we had triple crown defense and still there's 1 or 2 plays in the playoffs will shake the ground for you, man. That's all it takes. But for this year, I see Derrick Henry having a great year. I see Lamar having a great year. I see him throwing for at least 35 touchdowns, very few interceptions. From what I'm looking at, he slimmed down some. He's popping. He looks quicker. I think he's going to rush. He's going. How could I say? You'll see more big rushing plays from this year than the previous 2 years past. He's going to get back to some of the old Lamar. I got him running for at least 800 yards. He ain't gonna go 1,000, but he gonna go 8. He's been going like 4 and 5 this past 2 or 3 years. And the kid Jacoby Lane, he's playing well. Big receiver, 6'4" USC guy. As they say, I think they pumping him up little too much. Lamar finally got a number 1. He can't go that far yet.
Damn, already?
But he showed tremendous promise. This is a make or break year for Roquan Smith. From what I'm seeing from the training camp videos I'm seeing, he looked like he slimmed down some. He looked better than his first year when he came. It looked like, put it like this, it looked like Raekwon been eating well this summer. He looked cut up, and he's not as bulky as he once was. And we also got to put the emphasis on Justin Metabike is back, which will help out tremendously with Trey Hendrickson. And what's the rookie we had last year? Mike Green. I think he'll have a better year. We brought Calais Campbell back from veteran leadership. We got a young stud and two young stud safeties. We got a kid, Jalen Hawkins, from out of New England last year, who played very well.
Bruce, are you going to get an MVP caliber season out of?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Oh, well, Lamar always going to be in the MVP discussion, even if he's winning or not. Especially if you play all 17 games. Just off popularity alone. And you know you're going to put up big numbers. Everybody was complaining about on tight end vermin. We should never got rid of Likely. I totally agree on that. But
wasn't he a free agent though? You didn't trade him, so
he was a free agent.
Yeah, they didn't get rid of him.
But it took $1 million less. But Conley, he was a little too silly at times last year. A couple games that he cost us, holding the ball out. Not put it like this, just playing too much. I'm not saying that's the reason they got rid of him, but they offered him 39 and he took 40.
It could be as simple as he had a relationship with Coach Harbaugh. It could have been as simple as that.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Oh, okay, cool.
I guess, yeah. I think I had a little of him. The relationship between him and Harbaugh is pretty good, but still. But what I see from the new record is this new and refreshing. How can I say there? I like the togetherness that I see. I like the energy is just way different. I'm gonna say this. Well, this is Marlon Humphreys was on the clock. Roquan Smith is on the clock. From when I've been, checking in on the mini camps, Marlon is playing well. He hasn't been as silly as he once was, like last year. All on Instagram and just doing a little silly stuff. He's joking too much. That's another thing I don't like about Jacoby Lane. There's another thing I don't like about Jacoby Lane. He's too playful. That's one thing I would say about Lamar. He's too playful. Like, he gets serious in the game, but he's not stern outside of football. It's just, he act like a big kid sometimes. Not that he's immature, but he don't have that stern, that, how could I say? He just, I don't know, sometimes he just too much joking around. Maybe I'm being hard. Maybe. Another thing is just a big thing for me that I'm going to watch closely and I'm getting ready to land the plane. This Trey Hendrickson signing, he got to jump off the screen these first 3 games. If not, the questions are going to start coming in because he was kind of injury prone these past 2 years. He's really good though.
Yeah,
he's really good. He's going to be really good in mental system, barring health. And but still, he got to jump that first game. He got to jump off the screen with the money worth the prize. And yeah, man, Justin Metabike is coming back. Thank God, they cleared them. The outlook with the Ravens, 11-5, 13-3, bottom 10 and 7. I mean, the minimum. I'm gonna go in between. It's not gonna be as easy as they're not gonna hit the ground running. I'm just saying that's how I'm looking at it. But other than that, man, I just can't wait, man. We got maybe 4 weeks left before kickoff, and I expect Kyle Hamilton finally get consideration from these defensive player of the year. One thing I'll say about Kyle that I don't notice a lot about him, he don't get a lot of interceptions. He forced turnover. I'm not saying he don't force him. I don't see he's not a ball hog.
No, that's
well, maybe if they paid them. No, let me say this: if they paid them deeper in the back, maybe he will be. But he plays so close to the line. But he forced turnovers now, so he's going to have a tremendous year. I just can't wait, man. And We ain't got long, man. So I wonder if they're going to play the starters Saturday against the Vikings. At least one series. Get warmed up. Give us something.
Yeah, I know, right? That would be cool.
Everybody's too big on. We don't want them to get hurt. Well, you can hold them out for the whole preseason. First game, snap, torn Achilles off the top. First game.
Right.
Rather than that, that's going to be called in, Bruce.
No doubt, man. Thanks for the call. We got boots on ground right there. We know we're going to get the
be more.
Yeah, for sure. All right. All right. Let's go ahead and take it to the final topic before we get out of here, guys. So, man, this one was interesting to me. We'll take it back to the NBA. Victor Wembanyama, last year's Defensive Player of the Year, MVP candidate, one of the best players in the league, no question, best two-way player in the league without question. Took his team all the way to the finals before losing 4-1. You know what they say, though, Sneed, sometimes you got to learn how to win, right? Just ask LeBron. Although he'll probably, I guess maybe he doesn't think he has to learn how to win, right? He said if he never went to Miami, he'd have had the same career, which.
He also said he didn't know you don't need teachers.
But he also said he had to go to Miami to learn how to win. So
somebody taught him.
I don't know how this works. Anyway, Wemby. So Wemby is one of those guys. He's unusual. Would you say that?
He's so unique.
Yes. He seems
different
unique.
Physiology,
Right. He's unique physically. He's unique mentally. He seems like just a very different type of cat. And why are we bringing him up? Because like most young players, there are things that he needs to do in order to improve. And we always hear about the off season is where you get better, and then you got to come back with something else in your game, right? If somebody asks you, Sneed, what does Wemby need to come back with this season, what would you think it would be?
He needs to know when, and this is a judgment call, know when to use all of his tools, like how you present a threat to a defense. So we're all calling for him to do more in the post. Obviously, he can hit a jump shot. He can hit a three. But where he chooses to shoot the ball from matters. And he should not be making things easier on defenses.
Correct.
So when he's taking a 25-footer, he's not putting any pressure on the defense on the rebound on the glass.
Right.
And they're not picking up fouls because nobody's going to close out and foul him on a three. So I think it's situational, Bruce. I think some of the things he could work on, obviously the post work, strength and conditioning.
Yeah.
I think just becoming a more physical player, being comfortable in the physical moments of games. I think there's some maturity that has to happen, Bruce.
Yeah.
I think there's some learning that has to happen.
Yeah.
Game situations, timing, decision-making, leadership stuff. There's stuff that'll happen over the course of the season and stuff that should be happening in the offseason. The individual game components can be improved and worked on in the offseason. The things that are happening with your teammates, game situations are going to require another regular season of learning. Does he have proper veteran leadership on the team to help him along in his journey? Guys to put their arm around him and say, hey, big dog, this was a moment where you should have thought about this. Here's what was happening on this side of the court. Here's where you could have been here to put the defense in a position where they would have had to commit to you, and then you could have kicked out. And, it's seeing the game. Bruce, look, players make leaps at different times in their careers.
That's true.
And there's so many factors. One of his factors is coaching. That's impacting him. I don't think Mitch Johnson is a great coach. I think he's a young, inexperienced coach. It's not that he's bad. I mean, I question him on many occasions, but that's not even what I'm saying. He has to help a very unique player along and reach like a new level this year because they got to the NBA Finals and won a game.
And that's where I was going to disagree with you. I didn't see Mitch Johnson get out-coached really until the finals. Like, I think he did a very solid job coaching most of the way up until the finals, where
had the Thunder had a healthy Jalen Williams,
quite possibly.
I think we have a different outcome in that series.
Maybe we do.
Right. So I would throw that out there, but I'm with you. In the high leverage moments, Mitch Johnson was getting out coached.
Yes.
He didn't really know who was the best player for the best situations on his, and they were his choices.
Yeah.
He's the one who had his guys out there in those spots.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, look, Bruce, some of this is just going to happen in time, but he can accelerate it with good coaching. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I think he can accelerate with a lot of things. And this is very interesting because listen to some of the things Wemby has done in the offseason between last and this. So we know last year he went to the Shaolin Temple. He worked with the monks on, different types of physical conditioning.
But how would you describe his temperament last year?
So that was the thing, right? Part of working with the monks, I would think, entails a lot of the meditation and the emotional control. And we saw a couple of times him kind of...
Was he reckless at times?
Yes.
Was he out of control at times?
Yes.
Did he cost his teammates opportunities in games at times?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I saw all those things too, Bruce. And I get it. Everybody, there are people who are probably watching this, listening to this, and they'll say, Sneed's a hater.
But why?
But I know that players take time to mature.
There you go.
He is under a microscope at a very young age.
Sure.
He's basically becoming the face of the league.
Yes.
People may not have made that decision yet, but they will not have a choice at one point.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be him.
It's going to be him for sure.
He's young.
He's going to be the first international face.
He's an international player, and he's amazingly great already. So we got to the finals. It's inevitable, and the things that I'm discussing, bringing up here that we're talking about, Bruce, this is the next level. Yeah. There's basketball conversations to be had, but now it's about the game within the game, Bruce.
Yeah.
What?
Agreed.
Like if I think about LeBron and when he started winning championships, the game got better, and so did the internalizing of the game. That's the only way.
Yeah.
When Jordan got cerebral about the game, he started winning three-peats.
Yeah.
That's the difference, right?
For sure. So some of what Wemby's done, like we talked about, he went to Shaolin, he worked with the monks, martial arts, meditation, flexibility, and different types of, body control and things. Soccer for his footwork, intense conditioning, which we have seen to an extent, but still not quite where it should be. And I think a big part of that is obviously going from playing like 30 minutes a game to like 43 minutes a game. That is a huge jump to put on your body. So we'll see, and we'll see how the training staff in San Antonio. Say again?
He was getting worn out in those minutes. They were hard minutes, meaning he wasn't just jogging up and down the court. As soon as he was getting to the three-point line, guys were knocking him off his line, right? People were fighting through the screens. They were pushing him out of the paint. He wasn't just getting to hang out. He was not walking in the park, bro.
No. And that also comes with growing into your body, getting physically stronger, establishing better position and such. So where I'm bringing this up, he also last season worked with my guy, Hakeem the Dream. And here's we got some footage of that. Dream teaching him different things he can work in the post, inside pivots, traditional pivots, obviously working on the footwork, the little things he can do to get to easy buckets, right? So, and this is the thing I've been saying when it comes to Wemby. All this is great. You're working with Dream. You're learning about the things that you can do. He's helping you develop different movements and such, footwork, timing, so on, etc. And all that's great. However, for me, the bigger issue here is none of that matters if Wemby doesn't get stronger in his base. And you see Dream right there saying, you can see what he's telling him. You have to get low in order to establish the position so guys can't move you off your base, which is harder to do. It's harder for him to get as low as he wants to get at 7'4", right? So these are the things, Dream is going to teach you these things, etc. So you combine that with him playing soccer as well. Yeah, go ahead.
What Dream can't teach him, though, is the mentality, right? Dream lived in that world.
Mm-hmm.
There was no other option.
Right.
He could not just step back and take a three.
Yeah, right.
So, like when things got uncomfortable for Wemby, he left. He was not comfortable in that physical world, Bruce.
Agreed. I'm with you.
When Mitch Robinson was pushing him out, that should not be happening.
That should not be happening.
It cannot be. You can't win that way. With Mitch Robinson pushing you out, it can't be that way. No way.
Listen, I'm with you because remember, I'm the same one that said even Embiid, right? When he gets lazy, what does he do? Pull up and give the defense an easy three, right? He'll shoot a three instead of going down to the block and doing the work. Because when you're tired, what do they say? Fatigue makes cowards of us all, right? When you're tired, you don't want to go down there and establish position and hold position until you can get that post entry and then still have to bang to score. Wemby is, you can see he's got the quick moves, but I don't think he has the strength yet. So I love that he's doing different things to try and develop all these different parts of his game. But to me, he's got to get stronger. And I don't know if he's focusing on that the way he should be. Now, to that point, and this is kind of what got me thinking about this topic, this offseason, apparently, he is now practicing rugby with a French team, which I'm like, and we know rugby is a very physical game, creates physicality, toughness,
full speed impacts, nonstop action, and lower and body control.
That's right.
Leaning. And, like he should probably be wrestling. If he's going to do rugby, he should probably be wrestling.
I'm surprised the Spurs are allowing him to do all this.
I think they know, Bruce.
They probably sent over a trainer to watch what he's doing and say, okay, this, like, okay, chill with this, this works for basketball, and yeah.
So Bruce, up to this point, remember, he's like, was he 23?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. Up to this point, he hasn't needed anything. Now he needs to do something in order to get to the next level.
Right.
He's never struggled. Everything has been easy because, it's been on his time. It's been on Wemby time. Well, now he went to the finals and lost to the Knicks. The NBA Finals MVP was Jalen Brunson, who was 6'0" nothing.
Right.
Who was 190 pounds of nothing. So it's the other things that are important right now to Wemby's game. I think there's a sense of self-control that's required. I think there's a sense of preparedness for the physicality, like you've alluded to, and strength. And I just think he has to become like the full, complete version of himself. And he doesn't have to do it completely this year. But like we should be seeing improvements in those weaknesses from last year. Bruce, if he gets bullied again in the finals next year,
bad luck.
You know what I'm going to be saying? I don't know about you, but I'm going to be saying, where have I seen this before? That's a bad conversation to have.
Yeah.
Because we had that conversation about Bron when he was getting booted out of the playoffs by the Celtics and these teams, these tough teams who are basically just keeping him out of the paint.
Right.
When the Magic didn't let him in the paint, when the Celtics didn't let him in the paint, because the Spurs didn't let him in the paint.
Yeah.
The fix was out there. It was like, yo, you just make him shoot. And so when your game isn't complete, Bruce, the opposing teams will force you to play through that weakness. They will not give you what you're good at. They will give you what you're not good at.
Yeah. I thought that it was just excuse me, very interesting overall to see like rugby. That is like I wouldn't have expected that, especially with his particular body type and such. That's dangerous.
Well, he would be very prone to defense because they're flying at his legs. And if he's upright, he's in very precarious positions. The knees, the shins, the ankles.
We can only hope that he's not actually playing, but that he's just doing rugby workouts. Right? Because obviously a tremendous amount of lower body strength is necessary for that sport. So you would hope that he's not actually like in the scrums or anything.
If he was playing
out with those guys.
if he was playing, I got to be on his opposing team. We're winning. You know, like he just can't. Bruce, I'm 5'7", 200. I can play rugby.
Right.
You know, I'm very powerful. Like I've been weight training for many years. So like that's like that's like the prototypical size of physiology for a rugby player.
Right.
They look like wrestlers, all of them.
Right.
You know, some a little bit more muscular than others, but really it's about being like physically taking up some space, you know, like in confines. I don't want to see Wemby playing rugby, bro.
So this says he took part in multiple on-field drills, wore cleats, and joined the group's daily routine. Spurs teammate Harrison Barnes was reportedly there as well.
Daily routine.
Sessions were kept relatively private, so the precise drills and workload have not been publicly detailed.
Because it probably looked kind of silly with him out there.
yeah, for sure. Yeah. So this says rugby can help him by helping him develop leverage and contact preparation you talked about. Rugby players learn to brace, absorb, and redirect force while maintaining a stable base. We talked about that. Footwork and congestion. Rugby demands constant scanning, lateral adjustment, re-acceleration, and movement through bodies. In basketball terms, that can translate to navigating crowds as a roller, recovering after a help side rotation, and finding space against packed-in playoff defenses. Core and neck and shoulder stability. Rugby typically demands trunk strength and bodily control through contact. Okay. Conditioning under repeated bursts. Rugby is not just long-distance endurance. It combines sprinting, grappling, stopping, restarting, and decision-making under fatigue. That maps well to Wembanyama sprinting into a drag screen, protecting the rim, then running the floor again. And spatial decision-making. Both sports require rapid reads of angles, teammates' movements, defensive gaps, and where to move the ball rather than force an individual action. So this is, I figured that was kind of what he was looking towards. And again, so I'm thinking, you know, it's mostly the drills and the workouts, and less so him actually playing rugby. Like, that would be crazy. But yeah, that's what we got, man. Wemby is, you know, doing everything that he believes he needs to do in order to become a better player. And it's interesting that he's doing so much cross training, because so many players nowadays just, you know, focus on basketball skills training, but he's doing the cross training because he understands that he's got to get stronger. He's got to get more endurance. So, you know.
Yeah, man. The one thing that I would tell, like, if I had an opportunity to offer advice or whatever, or a recommendation, he should be doing Olympic lifting, snatches, cleans, squats, deadlifts, the power lifts, right? Pull-ups, weighted pull-ups, dips, just things involving his body weight having to be moved by him.
Right.
And then when it comes to like the weight resistance, stuff off the ground, stuff that needs to be pushed with force and motion. Not like an isolation bicep curl.
Right.
You know, I'm talking about like actual range of motion movements.
Yeah.
I would be encouraging him to do that stuff once or twice a day. You know, generating powerful movement. And like, they know better than any of us, right? They could build him programs.
Yeah,
obviously, Bruce, he's got to eat like a maniac.
Yeah.
He should be eating 5 times a day.
Yeah, for sure.
1,000 calories each time.
I was about to say he probably should be getting in at least 20,000 calories a day.
Yeah. I don't, like, depending on how much he's working out. Yeah, bro. Like, he should just be consuming a surplus of calories and like a mix of macros. It should not be like, oh, we just got to get him more protein. No, since he's training hard, I'd give him extra carbs. I'd give him the extra
to fuel that.
Absolutely. I'd have him, bro. I'd hand him a spoon and like 2 avocados, and I would say start eating like just high quality calories that he's gonna burn in these trainings, and he's gonna get tired. So like, he needs rest too. So he's got to find.
They said that he's a 9 o'clock go to bed type guy.
Oh, that's
great.
Or
he values rest. Absolutely.
So then he could get up at 5 and start with the weights, and then get into the gym, and then get back into some of those specialized trainings like the rugby or whatever.
Right.
But I know guys like this. they can eat all the food and lift all the weights, and gaining 2 pounds is like the hardest thing ever, Bruce.
Right.
Meanwhile, if I smell a burger, I gain 2 pounds. You know what I'm saying? It's so easy for some people to put on the weight, you know? We'll see what he looks like going into the season.
Right.
You might not be able to tell from the jersey, but you'll be able to tell when he plays some of those matchups again, and you see the way he stacks up to that pressure.
Right. No doubt. All right, let's take a couple calls and then we'll get out of here. We'll take 2 calls. 904-219-8264, 904-219-8264. What do you think of Wemby's off-season workouts, whether it was last season or this or both? Do you think it's going to help him become the type of player that he can be, or do you think he needs to be focusing solely on being in the weight room? Do you think he needs to be focusing solely on his game? What are your thoughts? 904-219-8264.
He's not strong enough yet, and he's getting pushed around by those that are.
That's my problem.
Yeah.
And so when people say he needs to get in that post, that's like, to me, that's such low-hanging fruit. Like when Kendrick Perkins was like, he need to get his butt down on that block. I'm like, how? I'm like, Kate Perkins, you can see you are a physical defender.
So he's telling the garbage truck to go 120 miles an hour.
Right. Like you were a physical defender. You were a guy who you could see spent time in the weight room. Are you telling me that he could have got down on that block against you? You see how he gets moved off of his spot very easily.
Now, Wemby weighs more than Dennis Rodman.
Well, that's because long bones, right? That's 7'4" when you have longer bones, you know.
It's the physics, bro. It's the dynamics.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. The weight just sits differently, you know. So, all right. Well, looks like we are not gonna get any calls on this one, so we'll go ahead and wrap it up here. Thanks so much for being with us today. Oh, here's one. What up, Bruce?
What's going on? Hey, man, I'm confused. I'm confused about the rugby thing, but I understand some of the things that rugby could possibly help him with. But still, like your leg, you're long, man. You know, rugby usually stout 5'7", 5'8" guys, muscular, lower body, superior lower body strength. So, as far as him getting stronger, he got to get wiry strong, not bulky strong. Him bulking up, I think I probably hurt him, his limbs a little. I may be wrong. Maybe his trained kid carry how many 20 pounds of muscle more? But at least 10 pounds. I don't really mean like 10. You need to be wiry strong, like how Kareem was. Like,
yeah, but Kareem was much stronger in his base, though. For me, that's the key for Wemby. He got to get stronger in his legs and his base so he can hold position.
Training. I mean, most definitely got to eat 10,000, 15,000 calories a day. Like he got the resources to get stronger. But it's not. I don't think it's going to happen. It's going to happen gradually over the years. I don't think he's going to make a significant improvement next year. But I don't think he ain't going to be where we need him to be next year all the way. Like trying to put so much weight on him in this short period of time, can't that be kind of dangerous for him?
Yeah. But, I mean, his body probably can't take that anyway. Probably is just going to take time.
Right. So wiry strong. Like, he probably needs to cut up more. He looked pretty cut up, man. I mean, who knows the science behind to get him stronger.
I don't think he's ever going to be Diesel, though. Like, he'll probably end up with, like, a KG-type build, though.
That's what I'm saying.
But he was strong, though, in his base.
But mentally, too, now, that's another thing.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, your mind control your body. On a lot of those, from what I'm saying for them, I'm going back to the playoffs. I'm not going to stay long on this. A lot of this stuff, he got curved out on a lot of those guys who put their weight on.
Yes.
Like he wasn't even trying. Usually your agility, your speed, spin-off guys, you use the force. People bumping you, use that bump to their advantage. Or they can bump me up. I got a little space spin real quick. Another thing, one of Wemby's biggest in the Atlanta playing, Wemby's biggest flaw for me when I'm seeing, he's indecisive. He gets the ball and hold the ball. Great players already know what they're going to do as soon as the ball touches your hand. He gets the ball, okay, he holds, pump fake. Oh, he thinks he's as a small forward. Instead of getting that ball like Dreams do, take it and busting your move. Use your speed and your agility if you're not that strong. That's what I'm trying to say. So, once I'm getting stronger, I don't see him get bulking up. Nah, you can get wiry strong, whatever exercise or whatever diet, or transform his body into that. That's what he needs. And you need to get a little bit strong. He's not no chump now. He's not soft. He's tough. He need to get a little bit tougher mentally because I've seen Mitchell Robinson and the cat was kind of like, he was curring out. He was giving up too soon. And this be a little bit more decisive, and he'll be all right, man. Thanks for letting me call, brothers.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you.
Good call, Bruce.
All right, brother. All right. Well, let's go ahead and leave it right there. We are going to call it a night. Thanks so much for joining us. Make sure you like, subscribe to SMT Media Network channel as well. And if you're watching on the replay, do those things. We appreciate it. And we out. Peace.